The wind whispered through the jagged cliffs of Nuristan, Afghanistan. The U.S. Army's 10th Mountain Division had moved into the region weeks earlier, tasked with tracking high-value targets. But Operation Silent Passage was different, smaller in scale, quiet in intent, and laced with uncertainty. It was late October. The mountains were beginning to frost over at night, and the days grew shorter. A four-man recon team was deployed to observe a remote village tucked into the folds of a steep ravine. Intelligence reports, limited, conflicting, suggested the presence of an unfamiliar group passing through the area. First Lieutenant Marcus Hale led the team. A man of few words, known more for calm judgment than heroics. Alongside him were Sergeant Clark, Corporal Nguyen, their scout and sniper, and Specialist Rivera, who could read terrain like a book. They moved under the cover of darkness, taking a high route that skirted along the ridgeline. Movement was slow and deliberate. One misstep could send rocks clattering down into the valley. By dawn, they had eyes on the village through binos. Hale scanned the mud brick structures. Smoke rose from a few chimneys. Children played outside with sticks. It looked quiet, ordinary, almost boring. But to Rivera, who was watching patterns, something felt off.
There's movement after dusk, but not from the houses. From the tree line just above the riverbed, men come in, but they don't leave.
Locals?
No, different clothing, tactical footwear, not shepherds. These guys carry weight like they've been in uniform.
They continued to watch. For 2 nights the same pattern repeated, small groups arriving under cover of darkness. Back at the outpost, command reviewed the drone footage, grainy, partially obscured by cloud cover and inconclusive.
Could be a tribal gathering, maybe a wedding.
No women, no elders, just men, and they're always armed.
On the 4th day, Clark picked up a faint signal while monitoring radio frequencies. It was encrypted, bouncing between 2 relays with timestamps suggesting it was meant to look like local chatter. By the 5th night, Hale made the call to shift positions. Nguyen relocated to a southern overlook with a better view of the river path covered in tarps. It arrived just before midnight. Headlights off, 5 men stepped out. One held a tablet, another adjusted something at his waist. They carried crates inside the structure.
Whatever's happening here, it's not tribal.
We observe, that's the order?
But the next night changed everything. The truck came again. This time, 2 men remained behind and began digging near the base of the structure. Quickly, deliberately. Rivera, watching from a thermal scope, caught a heat signature emerging from the ground. A hatch.
Underground access, could be a weapons cache.
Or a tunnel, running through to Pakistan.
With the evidence now pointing to something far more sophisticated than previously believed, Hale broke silence and relayed the report to command. Within 6 hours, a larger operation was being assembled for follow-up. Drone support was redirected, and a JSOC team was put on standby. On the 7th night, the hatch remained closed. No trucks, no men, only stillness and the feeling of being watched.
Maybe they know.
Or maybe they're gone, but they didn't take everything with them.
By dawn, the order came through. The recon team was to exfil, with satellite imaging scheduled to track the location. As they moved out, one cautious step at a time, no gunfire erupted, no enemies chased them down. The village behind them looked unchanged, indifferent, but deep beneath that quiet surface, something had moved, something had passed through, and the army now had its proof. Suspicion had led them to a door. What lay behind it would be for another team, another mission. Operation Silent Passage had done its job.